What's up, squad? Welcome back, friends, family, associates, co-workers, lovers. Welcome back to another episode. I'm so excited to have you guys, and I wanted to talk to you about something that I think is really important. I was talking about this with one of my friends, and we were discussing how it is so crucial that kids are actually taught, like from the very beginning of their schooling, why they're learning the things that they're learning. So when it comes to education, there's so many realms of education that we dabble in all throughout the years of schooling. So from chemistry to biology to the arts, right? But kids are not taught why they need to know these things. So I was actually just vibing, and I saw and I saw a chemistry book, and I picked it up and I started reading it, and I realized that as an adult, which I am sometimes, it's easier to want to know more things. It's easier to learn, and it's more fun to learn, right? Like, personally, I love, learning all the time about everything, and I love learning how things connect more often than not, right? I think that's like the most important thing. And so it just dawned on me that, like, hey, why don't educational systems teach children why they're learning the things that they're learning? So how does math actually connect to science, and why is it important? How is it applicable to real life scenarios, right? When you study chemistry, like, kids should be taught that they have carbon in their fingernails, but like, that's just not the case in school, and it's just so crazy. Like, it's just baffles me how our educational systems are so institutionalized. There's not an ounce of creativity even in the modalities that education is being taught, and that's really, really sad, I think, right? I was also thinking about music. It's not only that I love music. Music is the way that my brain works. So, for example, I'm better able to understand things when they're presented musically, right? I think that's the case for everyone. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. But I do know that that when you can bridge the gap between physicality and spirituality, music is what is in the middle of that, right? Music is between the two worlds. It actually bridges the gap and connects the two worlds together. And so in school, kids are not taught music. They're not taught how to, read sheet music. They're not taught music theory. They're not taught about tonality or frequency or vibration. And they're not taught a lot of things they should be taught, right? They're not taught about the truth about the English language and where the English language originated from and why words have double meaning. Kids are not taught about the true history of our globe, right? Of our world. And how, colonizers, colonization is seen as something that is profitable in history, when in actuality it's really burdening on people, on cultures, and on lands for generations to come, right? So, like, that's really, really upsetting. It's morally upsetting, and it is spiritually upsetting in general. Sorry, there's so much noise. As soon as I decide to do anything remotely expressive or communicative, there's just so much noise around me. So with that in mind, I feel like the education system has a lot of work that it needs to be done on it, right? Why am I not able to speak today? I'm so sorry. I just feel as though the education system needs to be reformed. And, like, I've probably said this before, and many people have said this before, but is it actually changing? No, it's not, because the educational system, oh my god, Seema, English, I'm getting really upset with myself. The educational system, much like the healthcare system, is an institution. It is a government-owned institution. And what does that mean? That means that it's regulated. Look at marriage. Marriage is also, marriage is the joining between church and state. Marriage is also a governmental situation. I'm so sorry, guys. I wish I had better content for you guys in this moment, but hey, we're just rolling with it. I've just come to terms with the fact that life happens, and, like, I need to be prepared during my podcasts to, like, maybe not go on so much of a roll sometimes. Like, if I get distracted or what have you, just think of this as us being on the phone, except I'm the only one talking. Yay, I love that. More than anything else. So, with that being said, to raise your kids in this type of world is not ideal or optimal. And kids are not taught about health in school. They're not taught about mental health. They're not taught about, the state of their body from a soul perspective, right? And how the mind creates the body. Like, kids are not taught any of these things, Like, kids are not taught that, like, all the health issues you have come from your mind, because they do. And the mind is very, very deep, which is why you have to clean it, get to know it, and then clean it, right? Because we come into this life with all sorts of stuff from past lives as well, unresolved karmic issues and what have you, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. The education system could really seek to be reformed, and I hope that in my lifetime it happens. Actually, much more than hope, I will make it happen, because who else better than me is what we should be thinking, right? All right, I am getting extremely distracted. I'm so sorry, but that's just a sign that I gotta go. So thanks so much for listening, and I hope this was interesting a little bit to you. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next podcast. Peace.